Have you ever noticed that as soon as the sun goes down, the birds in your backyard seem to disappear? Most people assume they simply head back to their nests for the night. But here's the surprising part. Most backyard birds don't actually sleep in their nests every night. So, where do they really spend the night? And how do they stay so well hidden that you never seem to notice them, even when they're still nearby? In this video, we're going to uncover the fascinating answer. If you spend any time watching the birds in your backyard, you've probably noticed this yourself. From sunrise to late afternoon, they're visiting your bird feeder, hopping through the trees, and filling your yard with activity. But as the sun begins to set, everything changes. Within just a few minutes, the feeder is empty, the trees seem quiet, and it almost feels like every bird has vanished. Did they fly somewhere else? Or are they hiding much closer than you think? In this video, you'll discover where backyard birds really spend the night, why they choose those places, and how understanding this hidden behavior can help you see your own backyard in a completely new way. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly where the birds in your backyard spend the night, how they choose their nighttime hiding spots. The short answer is no, your backyard birds don't suddenly disappear. They simply switch into a completely different mode of behavior. During the day, they're focused on finding food, keeping an eye on their surroundings, defending their territory, and moving from one spot to another. But as the sun begins to set, their priorities change. Instead of searching for food, their main goal becomes finding a safe place to spend the night. That's why, if you look at your bird feeder in the evening, you'll probably notice fewer and fewer birds. Before long, the feeder may be completely empty, but that doesn't mean they've left your yard or flown miles away. Take the house finch, for example. As daylight fades, it often slips into a dense shrub or settles deep within the branches of a leafy tree. Mourning doves, which spend much of the day out in the open, also move to sheltered spots before dark, where they're less likely to be spotted by predators. And alert birds like the blue jay usually begin searching for a safe roost well before sunset, making sure they're settled in before night falls. So if you've ever looked outside and wondered, there were birds everywhere just a few minutes ago, where did they all go? Now you know the answer. Most of them haven't gone far at all. In many cases, they're still right there in your backyard or somewhere nearby, quietly tucked away in a safe place. So here's the big question. If backyard birds don't fly away at sunset, where do they actually spend the night? The answer might surprise you, because they're often much closer than you think. The reason you don't see them is simple. You usually aren't looking in the right places. Most backyard birds choose sheltered locations with dense foliage, plenty of cover, and protection from the wind. Thick trees, shrubs, hedges, and sometimes even natural cavities in trees become their safe nighttime shelters. These spots help them stay hidden and secure until morning. Take the house finch, for example. As evening approaches, it often settles deep inside a dense shrub or among the inner branches of a leafy tree, where it's almost impossible to spot from the outside. American goldfinches also prefer well-covered branches hidden beneath thick leaves. Meanwhile, birds like the white-breasted nuthatch and the downy woodpecker may spend the night inside natural tree cavities or narrow crevices, where they have even more protection from predators and the weather. But why don't they simply sleep out in the open on a branch? Because nighttime is when birds are most vulnerable. In the dark, they can't rely on their eyesight the way they do during the day. By choosing concealed roosting spots, they're much less likely to be seen by predators. Dense foliage also helps block the wind and provides a slightly warmer, more stable place to rest through the night. That's why, when you step outside after sunset, it can feel as though every bird has disappeared. But the truth is, many of them are probably just a few yards away, quietly tucked inside a tree or shrub in your own backyard, so perfectly hidden and completely still that you'd never know they were there. Why don't you ever see them? So if these birds are still in your backyard, why do they seem to disappear completely? The answer lies in a fascinating natural behavior called roosting. Roosting is simply the way birds settle into a safe place to rest for the night. As daylight begins to fade, their internal biological clock tells them it's time to stop searching for food and start preparing for darkness. Instead of flying around the yard, they head to a carefully chosen spot where they can remain safe until sunrise. Flying after dark isn't ideal for most backyard birds. Their vision is much less effective at night, so they prefer to reach their roosting spot before it gets dark. Once they're settled, many birds fluff up their feathers, trapping a layer of warm air close to their bodies. This simple adjustment helps them stay warm and conserve energy during cooler nighttime temperatures. Another reason they're so difficult to notice is that they become incredibly quiet. During the day, your backyard is filled with songs, calls, and constant movement. But once birds begin roosting, they stop singing, stop hopping from branch to branch, and remain almost perfectly still, without movement or sound. Even a bird that's only a few feet away can blend into the surrounding leaves and branches. So the birds in your backyard aren't disappearing every evening. They're simply following a survival strategy that's been refined over millions of years. Finding a safe place to rest, conserving energy through the night, and waiting for the first light of morning before becoming active again. How to make your backyard safer for birds now that you know where backyard birds spend the night and why they choose those hidden spots. The next question is, what can you do to make your backyard even safer for them? The good news is, you don't need expensive equipment or a complete backyard makeover. A few simple habits can make a big difference. First, if you have dense shrubs, hedges, or small trees in your yard, try not to trim them back too aggressively. Those thick, leafy areas often serve as important nighttime shelter for many backyard birds. While regular pruning is fine, removing too much cover can take away the safe places birds rely on after sunset. Second, if your yard has bright floodlights or outdoor lights that stay on all night, consider using them only when they're actually needed. Excessive artificial light can interfere with birds' natural nighttime routine and make it harder for them to settle into their roosting spots. Third, and this may be the most important tip, if you suspect birds are roosting in a particular tree or shrub, resist the temptation to get too close or search for them after dark. Roosting birds depend on staying calm and undisturbed. Giving them space is one of the simplest ways to help them stay safe. And if you keep a bird feeder in your backyard, make sure it's clean and stocked regularly. After spending the night conserving energy, birds often begin searching for food soon after sunrise. A clean, reliable feeder can become an important part of their daily routine and encourage them to return to your yard again and again. By following these simple steps, you're doing more than just helping birds survive the night. You're creating a backyard where they can feel safe, return day after day, and continue sharing the fascinating behaviors that make birdwatching so rewarding. So now you know the answer to the mystery. The birds in your backyard don't disappear every evening. They simply move to safe, hidden places where they can rest through the night, conserve energy, and stay protected from predators. That's why, the next time your backyard suddenly goes quiet at sunset, don't assume the birds have left. Chances are, they're still right there, tucked away inside a dense tree or shrub, much closer than you think. Now I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever noticed the birds in your backyard suddenly disappear as evening approaches? Or have you ever discovered a roosting spot hidden in one of your trees or shrubs? Share your experience in the comments below. I always enjoy hearing what's happening in your backyard. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to Yard Bird Secret. Every week, we uncover the hidden secrets of backyard birds, explain their fascinating behaviors, and share practical bird care tips to help you create a better habitat right outside your door. Thanks for watching. And until next time, take a closer look at your backyard as the sun goes down, because some of its most amazing secrets may be hiding in plain sight.